Hello everyone and welcome to EduTap. So guys, we are back with a live mock test for you for your preparation for RBI Grade B Phase 1 for the year 2022. So guys, I hope your preparations are going well and you're giving your best for your exam, for your preparations. And this is the last mile, this is the last stretch that we have to undertake. Guys, in this session, we will be practicing a mock test of English exactly on the simulation of the paper. You'll have the questions on the basis of the paper and you will practice them as we go along. Right, and at the end, I'll give you a better strategy analysis of the paper and we'll discuss where did we go wrong and where did we go right. So guys, if you can see me and if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. I think I'm live. Yes, good evening, Shreya. How are you? So guys, in this session, we will be basically looking at a live mock test for English for Phase 1 RBI Grade B. So don't forget to like the session. Don't forget to share it, guys, because this may reach someone who actually needs it out there. All right, guys. So shall we begin with the live test? Guys, this is a live mock test where I'll be throwing questions at you. I'll not be helping you with the solution, first of all. I'll just be waiting for your answers and I'll be giving you the solution as we go along. And at the end, we will discuss any doubts, any queries that you may come across. Guys, so take out your pen, take out your paper and keep a track of your score. Which questions did you get right and how many did you get wrong? And then we will look at the the strategy and the consistency that you need in answering such questions. So without any further ado, guys, I think all of you are ready for this live mock test. So please take out your pen and paper and keep a track of your score. And at the end, I'll ask you your final score out of 30 questions, right? So let us begin with the live mock test. So here we go, guys. First of all, you have a reading comprehension passage in front of you, right? So guys, the best way to attempt a reading comprehension passage is not to read the passage first. It is to basically to find so it is something that we call reverse reading, right? So read the questions first and then start with your passage. So I'll show you the questions first. Question number 1 is, which of the following statements is incorrect according to the passage? So we have to find which of the following statements is wrong, right? So we'll get to that at the end of the at the end after reading the passage. Second question is, how the exchange rates were decided by RBI before 1991. So we have to find how exchange rates were decided by RBI before 1991. Question number 3, after C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor, what changes were seen in the Indian public sector banks? So we have to find what changes were seen after C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor. Okay. Question number 4 is, which of the following were registered when the then RBI governor C. Rangarajan proposed? So which of the following were resisted when this was proposed by the RBI governor? Question number 5 is, what was the major banking reform that took place after 1991? So you have to find and you have to look for the major banking reform that took place after 1991. Then which of the following factor affected the monetary policy and RBI's autonomy prior to 1991 reforms? You have to find what affected the RBI policy and RBI's autonomy prior to 1991 reform. Then I think there are 4 questions on 2 questions for your synonyms and then 2 questions for your antonyms. So we'll get to that after we read the passage. So guys, now now we can understand the passage is going to be about RBI, its norms, it's working before 1991 and after 1991, right? So that is the central theme of the passage. So let us now read the passage. Evening, Chandan Sharma. So let's read the passage and let's try to find out the answers for the given questions. So I'll read out the passage to you and you can read on your own as well. The state of Indian banking prior to 1991 was different from today. Banks made no mention of profits or losses. They did not fix deposit or lending rates. There were no capital adequacy norms nor rules for bad loans. Open a branch in Gumidi Pondi near Chennai or sanction a high value loan, a bank had to wait for months for Reserve Bank of India's permission. A financial marketplace didn't exist. RBI dictated the exchange rate based on what the ruling class and bureaucrats felt it should be. They, and not bankers, also decided who got loans. Bankers did not do banking, others did. This is till C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor. Indian public sector banks are still largely in bad shape, but there is competition and consumers have been able to fund their dream homes and cars through loans. Also, individuals have made fortunes by buying bank stocks in 2 decades, all thanks to the banking reforms Rangarajan shepherded from 1992 to 1997. Now, if you look at the Indian reforms, it was all about enabling price discovery. So if you look at the Indian reforms, it was all about enabling price discovery. There is Rajaraman, a former member of RBI board. The discovery of the external price of the rupee was necessary. Without that, you did not know the value of imports or exports. He, that means Rangarajan, partnered the reform effort to discover prices. Besides playing an active role in rupee devaluation as deputy governor, Rangarajan laid the foundation for modern Indian banking without having to turn the economy, markets, and banks inside out. There was some resistance when he prescribed capital norms, and he had to convince stakeholders that this was essential to make the system vibrant and viable. Right, when he prescribed the capital norms. All right. Then let's read further, guys. The argument that government banks do not have to follow prescribed capital adequacy ratios as the public are indifferent to the level of capitalization in a public sector bank does not recognize the fact that the banks are commercial entities and not departments of government. The argument that government banks do not have to follow prescribed capital adequacy ratios as public are indifferent to the level of capitalization in a public sector bank does not recognize the fact that the banks are commercial entities and not departments of government. Rangarajan said in a speech in 1997. He, Rangarajan, laid the foundation for a modern banking system as he recognized that a vibrant and competitive banking system was central to the reforms being undertaken. Says former RBI Deputy Governor Shyamala Gopinath. The capital adequacy and prudential norms were phrased Prudential norms were phased in over a period with clarity on destination and timelines that made the process sustainable. Under Rangarajan, private banks came into being. He unleashed the competitive spirit in Indian banking, resulting in the SDFC banks, the ICICIs of today. He was instrumental in ending the government's abuse of its position by monetizing debt, which had made monetary policy ineffective and undermined RBI's independence. Right. So hello everyone, guys. So this is a live mock test. So keep a track of your score, and at the end, I'll ask you your score. Right. So let's start with the questions now, guys. Question number 1. Which of the following statements is incorrect according to the passage? Now, your options are: prior to 1991, banks made no mention of profits or losses. Second, prior to 1991, banks did not fix deposits or lending rates. Option number 3, prior to 1991, banks were not nationalized. Option number 4, prior to 1991, there were no capital adequacy norms, no rules for bad loans in banking, or none of the above. Yes, guys. Guys, I'm waiting for your answers. Only have 30 seconds to give your answer. Guys, you have to be very critical when you are eliminating your options, right? See, the bank makes no mention of profits and losses. This was given. Lending rates, that was given. Adequacy norms, nor rules for bad loans. This was given in first paragraph itself, right? So there was no mention of profits and losses. They did not fix deposit or lending rates. There was no capital adequacy norms, nor rules for bad loans. But there is no mention of nationalization of banks in this passage, right? So the correct option here was option number C. Very well done, guys. Whosoever is marked C as their answer can score himself 1 marks. If you've not answered any, then you can score yourself 0. If you've answered yourself wrong, then you can deduct 1/3 of the weightage, right? Let's move on to the second question, guys. How the exchange rates were decided by RBI before 1991? Influenced by the financial markets, influenced by the ruling class and bureaucrats, influenced by the economic environment, or influenced by the bankers, or none of the above? Yes, guys, what should be the answer for second question? Anyone else who will answer the question? Very well done, guys. The correct answer is the exchange rates were influenced by the ruling class and bureaucrats. Right. So it was given in the first paragraph itself. Right. So it was given RBI dictated the exchange rate based on what the ruling class and bureaucrats felt it should be. So a financial marketplace didn't exist. RBI dictated the exchange rates based on what the ruling class and bureaucrats felt it should be by bureaucrats. So it was clearly given in first paragraph. It was by the ruling class and bureaucrats. Third question, guys. After C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor, what changes were seen in the Indian public sector banks? High class people started to dominate the financial markets. Involvement of bureaucrats in banking system was increased. New technologies were introduced. Elements of competition and high returns came into existence, or none of the above? Yes, guys. Quickly, guys, let's see if you are able to answer the questions. After C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor, what changes were seen in the Indian public sector bank? The correct answer is very well done, guys. Elements of competition and high returns came into existence. It was also given there. Right, so it was given till C. Rangarajan became the RBI governor. Indian public sector banks are still largely in bad shape, but there is competition and consumers have been able to fund their dream homes through loans. So individuals have made fortunes by buying bank stocks in 2 decades, all thanks to banking reforms, right? So it was about enabling price discovery. Right, so it was basically about was given somewhere the answer. Yes, a vibrant and competitive banking system was central to the reforms being undertaken. So that was the answer. Right. So elements of competition and high returns came into existence. So very well done, guys. Now, question number 4. Which of the following were resisted when the then RBI Governor C. Rangarajan proposed? Invention of new banking technologies, introduction of capital adequacy norms, opening up of banking industry to the foreign investment, or involvement of politically exposed persons in banking industry, or none of the above? I think I just read the answer to you. It was introduction of capital adequacy norms. It was given in the last line of the second paragraph, as mentioned here. So, prescribed capital norms, and he had to convince stakeholders. That means he did face some resistance. That this was essential to make the system vibrant. So, there was some resistance when he prescribed capital norms. That was the answer. Very well done, guys. Then question number 5, what was the major banking reform that took place after 1991? The discovery of the internal role of the RBI governor, the discovery of the internal price of the rupee, the discovery of the external price of the rupee, the discovery of the external role of the RBI governor, or none of the above? Yes, guys. Well done, guys. Keep up the good work. The discovery of the external price of the rupee. Absolutely correct. That was given again in the second paragraph itself. The discovery of the external price of the rupee was necessary. It was highlighted in the second paragraph. Very well done, guys. So you've answered your questions well. Now let's move on to the vocabulary based questions. So before that, there's another question. Question number 6. Which of the following factor affected the monetary policy and RBI's autonomy prior to 1991 reforms? So which of the following factor affected the monetary policy and RBI's autonomy prior to 1991 reforms? Monetization of capital, monetization of assets, monetization of debt, monetization of economy, or none of the above? Yes, guys. Let's see if you were observant while reading the passage. Good, Vishika. Very good. Good, Anudeep. Good, Sharma. Very well done, Steve. Was monetization of debt. It was given in the last paragraph. Um, by position by monetizing debt. So this was given. The government's abuse of its position by monetizing debt. So that was done before 1991. Very well done, guys. Now, let's look at the vocabulary based question now. In the next two questions, you have to find the so you have to find the synonym, the best word that matches the meaning of the highlighted word. So your question is prudential. You know what prudent is, right? So prudential, your options are expensive, careless, practical, unreasonable. It was given here in the passage, so I forgot to highlight it actually, but it was there. So this is the highlighted word. The capital adequacy and prudential norms were phased in over a period with clarity on destination and timelines that made the process sustainable. What does he mean by the word prudential? Expensive, careless, practical, or unreasonable? Uh, Srivastava, monetization of debt was done before 1991 by the government. It was abusing its power. It was rendered ineffective by the norms, by the reforms of the 1991. That was given in the passage. Show it to you again. A second. Yes, guys. So what is prudential? It's not expensive. It's not careless. It's not unreasonable. Prudential is basically something realistic, practical. So the correct answer here was option number C, practical. Very well done, guys. Moving on to question number 8, unleashed. Yes, guys. So the synonym of the word unleashed: repressed, released, restrained, constrained, or none of the above. Leash. If you know the word, the meaning of the word leash, जो हम dogs को पहनाते हैं, right? जो गले में पट्टा होता है, उनको क्या बोलते हैं? The leash, right? So a leash is that the the belt that we hold pets with. So that is leash. Unleashed is to unshackle, basically to let someone go free. So the correct option is option number B, released. Very well done, guys. Now, question number 9, guys, you have to find the antonym of the given word. The word is shepherded. It comes from the word shepherd, right? So your options are, for the antonym, opposite of shepherded is marshaled, misguided, laded, or accompanied, or none of the above. Yes, guys. What should be the opposite of this word? Shepherd. So who is a shepherd, guys? Is the person who takes the flock of sheep along for grazing. Somebody who protects and who looks after the group of the flock, right? Shepherded means to protect and guide them, right? So the opposite here was to misguide someone. So the correct option was option number B. Guys, don't answer after listening to my explanation. Please answer before my explanation, right? Otherwise, don't count it as your answer. And last question on the basis of the passage, viable. Yes, guys. So you have to find the opposite of the word viable. Your options are conceivable, probable, feasible, futile, or none of the above. Viable is something which can be done, which is feasible, right? Probable, feasible, conceivable are synonyms of viable. The opposite word is futile, that is pointless, something which is, of very little significance. That is futile, right? Something that cannot be done. That is viable. Very well done, guys. Somebody was asking me about the 1991 reforms. It was given. He was instrumental in ending the government's abuse of its position by monetizing debt, which had made monetary policy ineffective and undermined the RBI's independence. So this was done by the government before 1991. So the 1991 reforms made the change, right? Very well done, guys. Now let's move on to the next question. Rearrangement of sentences. Now, guys, you have been given 5 sentences and you have exactly 3 minutes from now to, to rearrange these sentences into a logical sequence, and then you have to answer the next 5 questions where you will be answering which of these is first, second, third, or fourth, and fifth, right? So quickly read the sentences and try to rearrange them in a logical order. So I'll read out the sentences to you. Their work has provided economists the tools to understand interactions between entities in a range of fields, such as the design of performance incentives in firms and schools, corporate governance, privatization, constitutional law, and entrepreneur-investor relationship. Still, Hallstrom in 1979 published a theoretical model and result that significantly enhanced the understanding of risk and incentives in employer-employee relationships. Okay? This was called the informativeness principle, which said performance should be linked to all variables or outcomes that provide information on the actions taken by an agent, such as a firm's manager, and not just the outcomes she can affect. Then next is the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences highlighted that their contributions to understanding real life contracts and institutions, as well as the pitfalls when designing new contracts, were crucial. And last is the work in microeconomic theory, for which Oliver Hart and Bent Holmstrom have received this year's Economic Nobel Prize, goes back to the 1970s and 1980s when the foundations of the contract theory were being built up. Guys, you now have exactly 3 minutes to rearrange them, 2 minutes actually, rearrange these sentences into a logical order. Go for it, guys. Don't have to give me the sequence. You have to answer the questions, and then I'll give you the right sequence. – 30 seconds left, guys. All right, guys. So now you have to first give me the answers of the questions that follow, and then I'll give you the right sequence. So, yes, guys. Question number 11. Which of the following sentence should be the fourth after rearrangement? Yes, guys. All right, guys. So let me give you the right sequence first, and then I think, and please don't change your answers after that. All right. So I'll give you the right sequence first because it becomes pointless to discuss these questions with you without giving you the answers. So the correct sequence here was sentence number 1 was sentence number E. The work in microeconomic theory, for which Oliver Hart and Bent Holstom have received this year's Economic Nobel Prize, goes back to the 1970s and 80s when the foundations of contract theory were being firmed up. That is sentence number 1. Second is sentence number A. That is, their work has provided economists the tools to understand interactions between entities in a range of fields, such as the design of performance incentives in firms and schools, corporate governance, privatization, constitutional law, and entrepreneur investor relationships. Then third is sentence number D. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences highlighted that their contributions to the understanding to understanding real life contracts and institutions as well as the pitfalls when designing new contracts were crucial. Then sentence number 4 is sentence number B. Mr. Holmstrom in 1979 published a theoretical model and result that significantly enhanced the understanding of risk and incentives in employer-employee relationships. And then this was called the informativeness principle, which said performance should be linked to all variables or outcomes that provide information on the actions taken by an agent, such as a firm's manager, and not just the outcome she can affect. The correct sequence was E first, then A was second, D was third, fourth was B, and last sentence was sentence number C. That was the correct sequence. E, A, D, C. Yes, Manisha, because sentence number B, yes, sentence number B is not the most basic sentence. The most basic is when we are talking about today. Why are we discussing this? Because they have been awarded Nobel Prize, right? These two economists, right? So that is how it starts. Then the importance of their work, then how crucial it has been highlighted as by the Swedish Academy, then what he did in the past, and then how helpful it was. That's how it began. So Shreya, I have taken a thorough session on parajumbles a few days earlier. So you can go watch that. That will be very helpful. This is a mock test, so I'll not be able to help you out here. Yes, guys. So which of the following should be the fourth sentence after rearrangement? So yes, guys. So the sequence was E, A, D, B, C. The correct sequence fourth was B, right? Then which of the following sentence should be third after the rearrangement? E, A, D. D should be third, so E is the correct option. Yes, right. I'm just giving you the right options now. You can just match with your following with your sequence. What should be the last rearrangement? E, A, D, B, C. So the last should be B. So the B is correct. Then which of the following should be the second after rearrangement? It should be A. The correct answer is option number D. And the last question on the basis of this is what of these should be first E, right? So C should be the correct answer. You can just see if how many have you got right and how many have you got wrong, right? So let's move ahead, guys. Now you have 5 questions on fill in the blanks. So each question below has a blank indicating that something has been omitted. Choose the set of words for the blank which best fits the meaning. So you have to find the right word for this. So I'll read out the question to you. Your options, guys. The Iran nuclear deal shows that even the most complex international issues could be resolved if Russia and the US work together with creative, fundamentals, artists, diplomacy, behaviors, and none of the above. Yes, guys. Correct answer is very well done with creative diplomacy. So when you are talking about resolving the issues, you have to be diplomatic. So correct option is option number C. Very well done, guys. Question number 17. Public sector Indian Bank has revised its interest rates in the foreign dash non-resident banking deposits. The public sector Indian Bank has revised its interest rates in the foreign loan, non-resident banking deposits, foreign debenture, foreign share, foreign currency, or none of the above. Yes, guys. Very well done. So, no FCNB, right? Foreign currency, non-resident banking, right? So very well done. So it should be currency, FCNR, right? Foreign currency, non-resident, NR or NB, can say that. Very good, Viswanath. So correct option is currency. Very well done, guys. Now, question number 18. Profitability for the banks will reflect dash net interest margins, NIMs, and credit costs. Profitability for the banks will reflect wobbling net interest margins, stabilizing net interest margins, releasing net interest margins, slackening net interest margins, or none of the above? Yes, guys. I know what it is, Biswanath. Profitability for the banks will reflect dash net interest margins and credit costs. Profitability will reflect the stabilizing margins and the credit costs. So very well done. It should be stabilizing NIMs and credit costs. Very well done, guys. Not wobbling. Wobbling is descending, or let's say dwindling. Slackening also means the same, so that doesn't make sense. Stabilizing is the best choice here. On to the next question, guys. The Competition Commission of India, CCI, dash penalty of over 6,700 crore on 10 cement companies. Competition Commission of India posed, composed, disposed, imposed, or none of the above? Heck, Chika, very good, Manisha, very good. Mr. Ganesh, see, penalty is imposed, right? Not disposed, it's not composed, it's not posed. So the correct choice was imposed a penalty of 6,700 crore rupees. Last question on the fill-ups. Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, has launched e-Nivaran, electronic resolution facility for online dash of taxpayers' grievances. CBDT has launched e-Nivaran facility for online redressal, addressable, rehearsal, or damage, or none of the above. I think that's an easy one. You redress the grievances, right? So option number A is absolutely correct. Good job, guys. All right, keep it up. Keep a track of your score. At the end of the session, I'll ask you your final score, guys. Okay, let's move on to the next set of questions. Now you have a close test with 5 blanks. From question number 21 to 25, you have 5 blanks in the given paragraphs, and you have to answer the right choice, right? So let's read the. I'll read out the paragraph to you once, and then you can choose your options, right? So here we go, guys. Currently, we have value-added tax (VAT) systems, right? Currently, we have value-added tax systems both at the central and state levels. But the central VAT or CEN-VAT mechanism extends tax set-offs only against central excise duty and service tax paid up to the level of dash. CEN-VAT does not extend to value addition by the distributive trade below the stage of dash. Even manufacturers cannot claim set-off against other central taxes such as additional excise duty and surcharge. Likewise, state VATs cover only sales. Dash can claim credit only against VAT paid on previous purchases. The VAT also does not subsume a host of other taxes imposed within the state such as luxury and entertainment tax, octroi, etc. Once GST comes into effect, all central and state level taxes and dash on all goods and services will be subsumed within dash tax having two components, a central GST and a state GST. So it is about the composition of CEN-VAT and the state tax, how it is formed. So that was the paragraph. Now you have to choose your options, guys. So blank number 1. Currently, we have value-added tax systems both at central and state levels, but the central VAT or CEN-VAT mechanism extends tax set-offs only against central excise duty and service tax paid up to the level of dash consumption, plantation, production, reproduction, or none of the above, guys. Yes, guys. The correct answer here. Guys, if you know about the taxation system, tax is levied on not consumption, it is levied on production. So the correct option here is not consumption, it's consumption. It's not consumption, it's production. Plantation doesn't make sense, reproduction doesn't fit here. The correct option was production, right? Let's move ahead, guys. Next blank. So here we go ahead. CEN-VAT does not extend to value addition by the distributive trade below the stage of dash. Even manufacturers cannot claim set-off against the other central taxes such as additional excise duty and surcharge. So CEN-VAT does not extend to value addition by the distributive trade below the stage of Inventing, distributing, separating, manufacturing, or none of the above? Yes, guys. Must understand the meaning of this word of this punctuation semicolon, guys. Where do we use semicolons? We use semicolons to basically uh, uh, elaborate on the previous statement. So that is where we use semicolons. So correct answer here is option number D, manufacturing. The SENVAT does not extend to value addition by the distributive trade below the stage of manufacturing. Even manufacturers cannot claim set off against other. That means this statement basically meant even manufacturers cannot claim set off against other central taxes such as additional excise duty and surcharge. That is what it meant. Correct option was manufacturing. Let's move ahead, guys. Blank number 23. Likewise, state VATs cover only sales. Now, the blank is dash can claim credit only against VAT paid on previous purchases. Dash can claim, intermediaries can claim, sellers can claim, agents can claim, auctioneer can claim. Yes, guys. Dash can claim credit only against VAT paid on previous purchases. Very well done, guys. So should be sellers. So sellers claim credit against the previous products that have been purchased by the public, right, or by anybody. So sellers can claim credit only against VAT paid on previous purchases. The VAT also does not subsume a host of other taxes imposed within the states, such as luxury or entertainment tax, octroi, etc. Right. So let's move on to the next blank, guys. Once GST comes into effect, all central and state level taxes and dash on all goods and services will be subsumed within and dash tax. So once GST comes into effect, all central and state level taxes and dash on all goods and services, contributions, burdens, levies, penalties, and none of the above. Yes, guys. Correct option is levies. So he's talking about once GST comes into effect, all central and state level taxes and levies on all GST will be subsumed. So that means they will be put together. And for the last blank, guys, so once GST comes into effect, all central and state level taxes and levies on all goods and services will be subsumed within an illustrated tax, depreciated tax, distributed tax, integrated tax, having two components, a central GST and a state GST. Yes, guys. I think that is an easy one. Very well done. So it will be subsumed. What if you know the meaning of the word subsume? They come together and to be, be, be concurrent, right? So it should be integrated. And obviously there was an. So we could eliminate these two options. Illustrated tax doesn't make sense. Integrated tax. That was the exactly. That was the only choice left. Then integrated tax having two components: central GST and a state GST. Very well done, guys. Now moving on to the last 5 questions of this mock test, guys. Now you have to answer, okay, you have to read the statement which has been broken down into 5 parts, and you have to find which part is erroneous. If there is no error, you can choose no error as your answer. So let's read question 26. The Aadhaar judgment and ensuing debate offers an important moment to revisiting the current framework and associated solution. You have to find the erroneous part. Just give me the solution. Then give me your option and then I'll give you the right answer. The Aadhaar judgment and ensuing debate offers an important moment to revisiting the current framework and associated solutions. Yes, guys. Very well done, guys. So the correct option is option number C. See, the answer here was to is followed by first form of verb, not followed by ing form of verb. So it should be to revisit, not to revisiting. So offers an important moment to revisit the current framework and associated solutions. Very well done, guys. Number 27. Unlike Indian laws, US laws provides for a contingency fee of lawyering where the costs of litigation are borne by lawyers. I'll read it again to you. Unlike Indian laws, US laws provides for a contingency fee of lawyering where the costs of litigation are borne by lawyers. Very well done, guys. The correct option is option number A. See, we're talking about laws. Laws being plural, the verb also has to be kept plural. See? Provide, not provides. So unlike Indian laws, US laws provide for a contingency fee of lawyering where the costs of litigation are borne by lawyers. That was the error here. Question number 28. Supposing if you had read the relevant literature carefully, you would have answered most of the questions correctly. Lawyering is, it's not a gerund here, the fee of lawyering. It has been used as a process here, Shreya. I told you to is not followed by first form of verb, but any other preposition can be followed by ing form of verb. Shreya, you are following my lectures regularly, then you must have understood this. The to is followed by first form of verb. Any other preposition is followed by ing form of verb. Very well done, guys. Again, in question number 28, there was an A part, say supposing and if. These both are superfluous here. Supposing also means imagination. If also means imagination. They cannot be put together. There should be either one of them. It could be supposing you had read, or it could be if you had read, but both of them are could never be used together. So supposing if you had read doesn't make sense. A is the erroneous part here. Very well done, guys. Keep up the good work. Then question number 29. India should and must appeal to all the countries declare Pakistan a terror state. Yes, guys, I'll read the question to you again. India should and must appeal all the countries to declare Pakistan a terror state. Guys, there was no error in the sentence. See, terrorist is a person. Terrorist is not a country. So we say that this country is a terrorist country. We say this is a terror country or terror state, right? So basically elicit terror to the public or neighbors. So not terrorist state. Terrorist is a person. Not say Pakistan is a terrorist state. We have to say Pakistan is a terror state. There was no error in this sentence. No, Arjun, we do not use declare as. Was declared to declare Pakistan a terror state. That is absolutely correct. No error in this, guys. And last question of this mock test, guys. In case India is focusing on the root cause of corruption, India will definitely progress in a short span of time. Guys, last question. 30. In case India is focusing on the root cause of corruption, India will definitely progress in a short span of time. Well done, guys. The time is up now. Correct option was option number A. So, see, whenever we are talking about generalized statements, we do not use continuous sentence. So, in case India focuses, not is focusing, it should be. In case India focuses on the root cause of corruption, India will definitely progress in a short span of time. Right. So, that was your mock test. Now, honestly, give me your final score, guys. Honestly, tell me how many questions did you get right and how many did you get wrong out of 30? 25. Done. You've made mistakes. You can deduct marks for your wrong answers, guys. Good, Manthan Rathod. Very well done. Keep it up. Yes, guys, please do share your final score with me, and then we will analyze the paper, and then I'll give you a better strategy to take up in the in English section at least. Steve 21, very well done. Vishika 25 points, excellently done, dear. Of the good work, dear. Yes, guys, Steve, very good. Uttam, Arjun, Anudeep, Rathi, Vedant, Arvind, Arjun, please give me a score. Sha. So guys, nobody is judging you. Not the last resort. You tell me a score, and we can discuss where we went wrong and which section. See, this is for your analysis. Which section did you lose the most marks in? That is your understanding, and that is the section that you need to start focusing on. Right? 4.75 Rathor, very well done. Not bad, dear. That's okay, Uttam. Arjun, 2 out of 2. Good. Guys, all right. So, whosoever watches this session later on, please understand you have to understand the, the, the psychology of the paper, first of all. So, lost in parajumbles, Rathod. So, that is the area that you just, you have to focus on. That's okay, Rati. All right. So, don't forget to join in the next session. Guys, we will be conducting such live mock tests with you on a regular basis so that we can help you out in your preparation. Guys, for these 30 questions, you will be allotted 25 minutes. So if you understood, we took a lot of time in the initial stages of this paper. That is in reading comprehension and rearrangement. So out of probably 25 minutes, we probably spent 15 to 17 minutes on only those two questions, right? Whereas we only spent last 5 to 7 minutes on the last 10 questions. I'll give you a better strategy into it, guys. See, what you have to understand is now, now you have to understand which section is productive and economical. In section A, where we took reading comprehension and rearrangement, right? We took about 15 to 17 minutes. I exclude the time for reading the passage and everything, right? And in part B, section B, which includes Phillips test as well as error detection, we took only about 5 to 7 minutes. Guys can understand which section is more productive and which is more economical, considering the paucity of time in the exam. Guys, the better strategy is not to just straight away blindly start with the questions that comes in front of you. Always choose the questions. See, these error detection questions, they are only single sentence based questions, so they'll obviously take lesser time. So your strategy should be to start with section B. That means start with the shorter questions first, so that you can quickly understand, okay, if I'm able to score this, if I'm able to find the right answer or not, and then you can come back to it again. You may even skip some questions and you can come back to this section again in the last couple of minutes and then attempt it again. So always start with the shorter questions. That should be your strategy in the exam, guys, so that the first 5 to 7 minutes you at least score 15 questions. That means that you at least attempt 15 questions. You maybe score 10-12 marks out of that, and that should give you a peace of mind that, okay, that usually the cutoff in RBI, how high it is. It's up to 7, 7.5, 6.75, no, not more than that in the last 5 years, right? So if I score 10-12 marks in the first 5-7 minutes, then there'll be huge burden that will be taken off my shoulder, right? And then you can spend the rest of the time calmly, composedly on the first section, that is the longer questions. That means based on reading comprehension and rearrangement. That should be your strategy, guys, right? These will be conducted regularly, Naveen. So you will have reasoning, quants, and English tests going on throughout the week, right? So don't forget to join up. Don't forget to subscribe. So that should be a strategy. Start with the shorter section first, and then move on to the longer questions. And then you don't have to attempt all the questions in one go. You can revisit the question and then try it again if you can't find the answer in the first attempt. Okay, but be Now, there are two things that come into play here. There should be accuracy and efficiency. That means you should be able to attempt enough questions in the given set of time, and the answers that you provide should be accurate because there is negative marking. Guys, if we analyze the paper, so these 30 questions, so what do you say? Reading comprehension, there were 10 questions. I think the questions were moderate. They were not very difficult to find. Most of the questions were factual, so it was a easy passage for me. Right, rearrangement, we can say where most of you got your errors. So this may be considered hard. There were 5 questions on rearrangement, and that is the catch about rearrangement. Either you get it the whole rearrangement right, or you get, probably more wrong than right. So you have to be well practiced with this, right? And Phillips, those 5 Philip questions, I think they were easy. They were not very difficult contextually, so you can call them easy. These 5 questions were easy. Now, close test, on the other hand, it may be considered hard because the choices were not very subtle, right? So we can say it was moderate to hard, and then error detection questions, we can say they were moderate again. Guys, you will face these sections, right? Different sections in your paper, and you have to understand if you cannot do well in one section, which may be hard, you have to choose the other section, which may be easy, right? To basically to score higher than the cutoff and score a good score in this paper. So now you have to understand your strategy. And next time when we conduct this live mock test, make sure that you follow up, that you build up on this strategy, and whenever you're practicing on your own, right? Now, guys, now you can self-assess your score. You can understand where you went right and where you need to work upon. And we can further look into your queries and doubts if you have any. So yes, guys, I'm open to any doubts, any questions, any queries that you may have. And if you want to write to us, you can drop us an email on this address on your screen, that is hello@edutap.co.in, or you can call us on this number as well during the office hours, obviously on 81462072. Want to visit our website, check out our courses. The links have been given in the description of the video. This is our website, and you can find the PDFs of all these sessions on our Telegram channel, the link for which has also been given in the description of the video. Guys, anything else you wish to discuss? Mock test that was conducted yesterday, Rati, on Sunday. That's what you're talking about. Aim test one, right? We're discussing, we're thinking about that. Let us plan something about it, Rati. Obviously, it's management's decision, not mine. But yes, I will give my input into this. The students do want to analyze. Although analysis was taken up by Vishnu sir yesterday itself, but let's see if we can discuss the whole paper in detail. However, the solutions were given. So, and I apologize for that one mix-up that was there in question number 7. There was a little error there, so it was a problematic situation, but it was sorted later on, right? All right, guys. So we will keep on conducting such sessions for you. So, guys, how was the session? Do you have any inputs, any constructive feedbacks to give us? We'll be more than happy to hear you out. And if you wish to join us in your journey, in your preparation, please feel free to catch up to us, right? So you can give me any feedback that you have, anything that you felt like. I'll be more than happy to take it up. Thank you, Vishika. Yes, guys. Anything else you wish to discuss? I'm all ears, guys. I think this would have given you a better insight into your strategy, your preparation, your your preparation of this section. So you now know which section you need to focus upon, right? Thank you, Rati. Thank you, everyone. I don't think there are any feedbacks you have to give me. Let's see if you have any. So you can contact us whenever and wherever you wish to feel like. You can call us or you can drop us an email as well. Thank you so much for your precious time, guys, and I wish you all the success in your endeavors from the bottom of my heart. And I truly dream that you come out with flying colors, right? So all my well wishes are with you, all my blessings are with you. Keep up the good work, pull up your socks, and just go do your thing, guys. All right. So please have concentration on whatever you are doing. Have patience, have persistence, have should be regular with your attempt, regular with your approach, and that is what pays off at the end of the day, right? So that is my suggestion to you guys. Keep up the good work. I'll see you again very soon with another live test like this, and I hope our efforts will help you in the long run, right? So thank you so much once again. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy learning to all of you.